Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review The Glassworker, and this is from Pakistani writer-director Usman Riaz, and this film is a big shining moment for Pakistani animation, as this traditionally hand-drawn animated film is one of a kind, and for Pakistan, and it does pull on a lot of influences, especially from Hayao Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli, but this is the life of a young glassblower in training and his relationships over the years as his land goes through war and strife. And the world building, I love his village and all the layers and personality that's brought into it. You have so many motifs that you see in so many Miyazaki films. This feels very like European influence in terms of this village. You see these skyship battles and bomb droppings. It feels very Howl Moving Castle, honestly, and you have a lot of those influences. This film is incredibly well animated, and it doesn't shy away from the scourges of war, the scars, the ramifications, the consequences of war. And we see brutal bombing sequences, and how they're animated is just so impactful. The animation itself is so rich and colorful and layered in terms of how it comes together. I do think that it's a little bit smoothed out of detail at times, but in general, I think this is a really well-realized visual experience. On top of it, I think the sound design is fantastic as well, but a big piece is the score, which is composed by Riaz himself and Carmine DeFlorio. And it's rich, it's beautiful, it's emotive. From this opening sequence where this film really captures the beauty, the essence, and just the feel of the glass blowing, it hooks you. And the music has you too. It just pulls you in and won't let you go. And you have the story of young Vincent, who's in love with the daughter of the general of this town, and his father is a pacifist, and this film shows that nationalistic kind of fervor where people get behind the military, and it feels very poignant for today's day and age, especially with how things are going in the United States at this point. And you see this man ostracized for being a pacifist, not wanting to get involved, and then how this film challenges this family in the face of war. And you have this classist disconnect between Vincent and Elise, this young woman who he has this connection with. He makes beautiful art for her through this glass. And there's some mythical kinds of elements hinted at with this djinn throughout, and I feel like, especially as it gets towards the end of the film, it becomes a little bit too confusing and disconnected from the other elements of this film, and I don't think it really 100% does the film justice. But when this focuses on these coming-of-age elements of young Vincent, how it has its personality and perspectives about art, war versus peace, all of these elements roll together into something very beautiful and meaningful. And this is an engaging film for sure. I think that the film, like I mentioned, I don't know how well it sticks its landing with what it's trying to do in that department, but I do feel like this film, for the most part, shows this challenging situation that this father and son find themselves in, ostracized from their village through this very aggressive wartime. And I think this film really channels so many of those Miyazaki elements that certainly influence Riaz for this film and delivers something really impactful. This certainly does not have the most shocking or surprising narrative. A lot of these beats play out how you might expect, but And especially when it does take some chances, it goes a little too far, and especially with the inclusion of this Jinn, this spirit. But in general, I think this is a beautiful looking, well realized, richly thematic film that tells a good story. And at the end of the day, this is a special film, and you can feel it, and it certainly delivers something quite impactful and poignant in the end. But those are my thoughts on The Glassworker. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.